The story begins with Sasaki, a middle-aged office worker worn down by the monotonous grind of corporate life in Japan. His days are filled with the vapid and draining routine of a small trading company, leaving him feeling unfulfilled. Inspired by a coworker's pictures of their cat, Sasaki decides to bring some companionship into his life by getting a pet. A visit to a local pet shop leads him to an adorable Java sparrow, whom he impulsively purchases and names Peeps. However, Sasaki soon discovers that Peeps is no ordinary bird. He can speak and reveals himself to be Pierre Carlo, a powerful sage from another world who has been reincarnated. This revelation marks the beginning of a significant shift in Sasaki's mundane existence. Peeps, or Pierre Carlo, still possesses his magical abilities and bestows upon Sasaki the power to travel between worlds, along with the knowledge of magic. Intrigued by the possibilities, Sasaki and Peeps embark on their first journey to Peeps' home world, a fantasy realm of swords and sorcery. There, they begin a new venture, an interdimensional trade business. Sasaki starts by selling items from modern Japan in this new world to make a profit. Their entrepreneurial endeavors are not the only new development in Sasaki's life. Back in his own world, he has an encounter with psychics. After using his newly acquired magical abilities to save a woman, he is mistaken for a psychic himself and is subsequently scouted by a secret government organization called the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau.
We next see Sasaki getting more accustomed to his interdimensional commerce. He continues to transport goods from his world to the fantasy realm, with one of his latest sales being a set of walkie-talkies. This transaction hints at the potential ramifications of introducing modern technology to a medieval society, particularly the possibility of it being used in warfare. Back in Japan, Sasaki's life takes a dramatic and action-oriented turn. He is forcibly brought into the fold of a clandestine government organization, the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau. This agency is tasked with managing individuals with psychic abilities. With little choice in the matter, Sasaki is quickly assigned his first mission, to help subdue a group of rogue psychics. For this dangerous assignment, he is paired with the seemingly capable Hoshizaki. The mission is treated with tactical seriousness as Sasaki is equipped with SWAT gear and sent to participate in a police-style raid on the psychic's location. The operation quickly escalates, showcasing a surprising level of paramilitary action. During the confrontation, Sasaki's partner, Hoshizaki, is knocked unconscious. This unforeseen event provides Sasaki with the perfect opportunity to unleash the powerful magic he learned from Peeps, without revealing its true otherworldly origins to his new government colleagues. He successfully overpowers their adversaries, demonstrating a level of power that surprises the agency. A significant revelation occurs after the mission, when Sasaki discovers that his highly skilled and professional partner, Hoshizaki, is actually only 16 years old. This adds a new layer of complexity to their dynamic and his involvement with the Bureau. Sasaki comes to learn that the Kingdom of Hertz is preparing for a major conflict with the neighboring Ogun Empire. His business associate, Viscount Mueller, is deeply concerned about the impending war and its potential impact on his domain and people. Recognizing Sasaki's resourcefulness, Mueller requests his help in procuring vital supplies for the war effort. Putting his skills as a modern-day salaryman to use, Sasaki accepts the request. He travels to the neutral trading nation, the Republic of Lunge, to negotiate and purchase large quantities of food and other necessary goods. Leveraging his ability to transport goods from Earth, Sasaki successfully fulfills the request in a remarkably short amount of time, filling a warehouse with supplies that will be crucial for the kingdom's soldiers and civilians. This accomplishment earns him deep gratitude from Viscount Mueller, who then departs for the front lines of the war. The narrative takes a sorrowful turn when, after a one-month time skip, Sasaki returns to the otherworld to learn that Viscount Mueller has been killed in battle. The news deeply affects both Sasaki and Peeps, who had developed a bond with the kind nobleman. In the wake of the Viscount's death, a succession crisis looms over his territory, with his two sons vying for control. Fearing for the safety of the Viscount's young daughter, the family's butler, Sebastian, entrusts her to the care of the trading company Sasaki is partnered with, effectively placing her under Sasaki's protection. This development adds a new layer of responsibility for Sasaki, who must now navigate the dangerous political landscape of the fantasy world while looking after the late Viscount's child. Meanwhile, back in Japan, Sasaki's life continues its strange trajectory. He has a brief, pleasant interaction with his new neighbor, who offers him a massage. At his government job with the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau, he receives a promotion and a new assignment, recruiting other psychics into the organization, a task he will once again undertake with his teenage partner, Hoshizaki. The story continues with a shocking development. Viscount Mueller's two sons, who were set against each other in a succession dispute, are also reported to have been killed. This leaves the Viscount's young daughter, Elsa, as the sole heir to their troubled domain. Compounding the crisis, the formidable Ogan Empire's army is advancing on the Mueller territory. Faced with this overwhelming threat, Sasaki and Peeps decide that passive observation is no longer an option. To protect Elsa and the people of the Viscounty, Peeps resolves to unleash the full extent of his magical power for the first time since his reincarnation. With Sasaki acting as a mana source, Peeps demonstrates his awesome might by single-handedly annihilating a massive enemy encampment with a powerful spell, effectively halting the Empire's invasion in its tracks. Following this display of power, the episode's central twist is revealed. Viscount Mueller is, in fact, alive. His death, along with the fatal conflict between his sons, was an elaborate deception designed to expose a traitor within his own ranks, his butler, Sebastian. The plan works perfectly, and the treacherous butler is apprehended. In the midst of these events, Sasaki and Peeps have a fateful encounter with Prince Adonis of the Kingdom of Hertz, who had also been presumed dead alongside the Viscount. After Sasaki uses his magic to heal the injured prince, Peeps reveals his true identity as the legendary star sage Pier Carlo to both the prince and the Viscount. This revelation solidifies their alliance and positions Sasaki and Peeps as crucial players in the kingdom's political and military struggles. We now see Sasaki and his teenage partner, Hoshizaki, being assigned a new mission by the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau to scout and recruit a new psychic. Their target is a timid high school boy in Saitama Prefecture who's being persistently bullied. Hoshizaki devises a plan to make contact with the boy, which involves her going undercover as a fellow high school student. She masterfully disguises herself and approaches the target, but her aggressive method of intervention quickly causes the situation to spiral out of control. The bullied boy's psychic powers manifest in a dangerous and uncontrolled way. Just as Sasaki and Hoshizaki attempt to contain the psychic outburst, a new, unexpected player enters the scene, a magical girl. Dressed in pink, she declares her intent to eliminate all psychics, revealing that her family was killed by them. This introduces a third distinct power system into the modern world, separate from Sasaki's isekai magic and the innate abilities of psychics. A three-way confrontation erupts between Sasaki, the government psychic Hoshizaki, and the hostile magical girl. During the chaotic battle, Sasaki is forced to use his otherworldly magic more overtly than ever before to defend himself and his partner. The magical girl reveals that she was granted her powers by a fairy, whom she subsequently killed because she never wanted the responsibility. The tense standoff concludes when the magical girl abruptly leaves upon seeing the boy they were trying to recruit. While this central conflict unfolds, the story also touches on other aspects of Sasaki's life. He briefly notes a discrepancy in the flow of time between Earth and the otherworld, realizing the rate of passage is not constant. Additionally, his enigmatic neighbor is shown to be growing more curious about his activities after overhearing a conversation between police officers about him.
Sasaki and his colleagues at the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau are regrouping after their clash with the magical girl. The unexpected MVP of that encounter was Shizuka Futari, a powerful rogue psychic who intervened and helped them escape. Seizing the opportunity, Futari makes a startling request. She wants to leave her old organization and join the Bureau, asking Sasaki to recruit her. This proposal is met with suspicion, particularly from Sasaki's partner Hoshizaki and their boss Akusu. Futari is a known and dangerous psychic, and her motives are unclear. However, Sasaki sees a potential ally and agrees to broker a meeting. During negotiations, Futari demonstrates her shrewdness by bartering for favorable terms, while Akutsu uses the Bureau's extensive surveillance capabilities, including cameras in employees' homes, as a warning and a means of control.
Ultimately, Akutsu agrees to bring Futari into the fold, and in a move that surprises Sasaki, he is placed in charge of her on-the-job training. This new responsibility forces Sasaki to navigate a delicate relationship with a powerful and unpredictable new subordinate who seems to be taking a keen personal interest in him. The story begins to highlight the growing bond between Sasaki and Hoshizaki. In a moment of gratitude for his help during the fight with the magical girl, Hoshizaki prepares a bento for him, showing a softer side to her usually stern demeanor. Meanwhile, the dynamic between Peeps and the newly recruited Futari begins to develop. The two powerful beings engage in cautious conversation, sizing each other up. Peeps offers Futari a business proposition, suggesting that her unique psychic abilities could be valuable in their interdimensional trade, hinting at a future collaboration that could benefit them all. Before we continue, just a quick reminder to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy seeing content like this, and leave a comment on any other anime shows you would like to see recapped. Now, back to the video. The King of Hertz makes a stunning declaration. The prince who contributes the most to the nation will be named the next heir to the throne. This announcement immediately throws the kingdom's nobility into turmoil, forcing them to choose sides and form factions, which benefits ambitious nobles like Count Dietrich, a rival to the recently promoted Count Mueller. Sasaki soon learns that this new political climate has had dire consequences for his business partner, Mark. An assistant informs Sasaki that Mark has been arrested on trumped-up charges of offending a nobleman. It's revealed to be a scheme orchestrated by Count Dietrich and Mark's own manager, Herman, to undermine Count Mueller's allies. Determined to save his friend, Sasaki, with Peeps' guidance, begins to formulate a plan. They consider procuring gold from the otherworld and transferring it to Japan to raise the necessary funds. Count Mueller provides Sasaki with his dagger as proof of their connection to aid in the rescue. A key development in the story is the accidental reveal of Peeps' secret. While strategizing, Peeps teleports and speaks in front of Count Mueller's young daughter, Elsa, who now knows that he is no ordinary bird. Count Mueller's young daughter, Elsa, who has followed him from the fantasy world to modern-day Japan. Elsa's arrival is driven by a grave misunderstanding. She witnessed Sasaki moving gold ingots and came to the mistaken conclusion that he had betrayed her father and sold his associate, Mark, to a rival noble. Before Sasaki can even begin to process the situation, it becomes infinitely more complicated with the unexpected arrival of his new, unpredictable subordinate from the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau, Shizuka Futari. Seeing a strange girl with Sasaki, Futari immediately grows suspicious and acts hostile towards Elsa. The tense situation escalates until Peeps is forced to intervene. To neutralize the threat Futari poses and protect their secrets, he places a powerful curse on her that compels her to be obedient to Sasaki. With the immediate danger from Futari contained, Sasaki's next challenge is managing a curious and frightened noble girl in a world completely alien to her. Peeps reveals that due to his magic, Elsa can understand Sasaki, but Futari cannot understand Elsa, preventing their interdimensional secret from being fully exposed. To earn Elsa's trust and prove his intentions are noble, Sasaki decides the best course of action is to give her a tour of his world. What follows is a charming and humorous sightseeing trip around Japan. Elsa is amazed by the marvels of modern technology and culture, experiencing everything from cars and convenience stores to the general hustle and bustle of city life. This tour not only serves to placate Elsa and correct her misunderstanding, but also begins to forge a genuine bond between her and Sasaki. Sasaki receives the dire news that Mark's execution has been scheduled. The trumped-up charges are a clear political maneuver by the ambitious Count Dietrich, who is working with Mark's treacherous manager, Herman, to weaken Count Mueller's faction. Realizing that a direct confrontation would be futile, Sasaki and Count Mueller immediately go to negotiate with Count Dietrich. They manage to buy a crucial one-month delay before Mark's execution, giving them a narrow window to formulate a rescue plan. Rejecting Peeps' suggestion of a more direct, forceful approach, Sasaki decides to leverage his unique advantage, interdimensional commerce. His plan is to generate a massive amount of capital in the otherworld to secure Mark's freedom through economic influence. To achieve this, Sasaki and Peeps travel to the neutral trading nation, the Republic of Lunge. In Lunge, Sasaki puts his modern-day business acumen to the test. He begins a complex scheme involving the exchange of goods and currency between worlds. He purchases items in Lunge, transports them to Japan to sell, and then brings back valuable goods from his world to sell in the fantasy realm, aiming to build a fortune large enough to turn the tables on Count Dietrich. While this economic maneuvering takes center stage, Sasaki also deals with the aftermath of Elsa's trip to Japan. Having returned to her own world, she now shares the incredible secret of Sasaki's origins. This new knowledge adds another layer of complexity to the relationships between Sasaki, Peeps, Elsa, and her father, Count Muller.
The story centers on a formal meeting at a restaurant between Sasaki and his adversary, Count Dietrich, with Mark's treacherous manager, Herman, also present. Count Dietrich, aiming to leverage the situation to his advantage, lays out an absurd and seemingly impossible deal for Mark's release. His primary goal is to gain exclusive access to the valuable goods that Sasaki brings from his own world. However, Sasaki arrives at the negotiation table thoroughly prepared. The dynamic of the meeting shifts dramatically with the unexpected arrival of Sasaki's allies, Count Muller, and most importantly, Prince Adonis. The prince's presence elevates the discussion from a simple business dispute to a matter of national importance. Sasaki expertly navigates the tense conversation, arguing that Mark is not just a merchant, but a vital asset whose skills will bring immense fortune and benefit to the entire kingdom of Hertz. He counters Count Dietrich's demands with his own well-laid plans, revealing the depth of his preparations.
The climax of the negotiation comes with a stunning revelation. A representative from the Republic of Lunge, a man named Joseph, intervenes. He discloses that he has purchased all of the debts that both Count Dietrich and Herman had accrued, effectively giving him, and by extension Sasaki, complete financial leverage over them. This move was made possible by Sasaki's earlier efforts to build capital. Faced with financial ruin, Count Dietrich and Herman have no choice but to concede. We then see Sasaki rushing to a hotel in response to an urgent call from Shizuka Futari, his new and volatile subordinate. He arrives to find her hotel room completely trashed and splattered with blood, the scene of a violent struggle. Futari is grievously injured, having been ambushed by a man from the rogue psychic organization she recently defected from. This attacker, a man with an otaku-like appearance, reveals himself to be the leader of the organization. He possesses a terrifyingly versatile ability, the power of delusion embodiment, allowing him to create powerful weapons and even psychic puppets, making him an incredibly unpredictable and dangerous foe. A fierce battle ensues between the otaku leader and the duo of Sasaki and Peeps. The fight is a strange spectacle, with the leader conjuring various attacks drawn from his imagination, while Peeps is forced to counter with his powerful, otherworldly magic. The battle highlights the stark difference in their abilities, with Peeps demonstrating his immense power by effortlessly tanking and erasing his opponent's creations. Despite the power gap, the psychic leader proves to be resilient and cunning. However, realizing he cannot overcome Peeps' overwhelming strength, he wisely chooses to retreat rather than face certain defeat. Before he leaves, Sasaki, using his well-honed negotiation skills, brokers a truce, ensuring that the organization will no longer target Futari. Sasaki rushes to the headquarters of the Paranormal Phenomena Countermeasure Bureau. He arrives to find the building under attack by the magical girl in pink, now joined by a new magical girl in yellow. The two have erected a powerful barrier around the building, trapping the agents inside and causing a commotion. For this mission, Sasaki has intentionally left Peeps at home, fearing his powerful magical signature would draw unwanted attention from the Bureau. Forced to rely on his own growing magical abilities and strategic mind, Sasaki coordinates with his colleagues inside. He devises a clever plan. Hoshisaki and the other agents are to create a distraction, drawing the magical girl's attention. While they are preoccupied, Sasaki uses his magic to stealthily fill the inside of their barrier with water, creating a panic and forcing them to drop their defenses to avoid drowning. The plan works, and as the barrier falls, the psychics inside, led by a recovered Shizuka Futari, launch a counterattack. Futari successfully incapacitates the magical girl in pink,
Seeing her partner defeated, the magical girl in yellow retrieves her and makes a swift retreat, ending the immediate threat. The season's post-credit scene reveals Sasaki's enigmatic neighbor serves a powerful prince of the abyss. This introduces a fourth supernatural world and sets her up as a key figure in a new conflict, leaving a cliffhanger for the next season.
And that's the end of our recap of the anime series Sasaki and Peeps. Have you seen this show? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more anime content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.